Everyone, last class we discussed about the sources of sag and interruption. The sources of sag and interruption. That can we can see the faults on the same feeder, faults on the parallel feeder, faults on the transmission system. Today class we discussing about estimating voltage sag performance. Estimating voltage sag performance. That is estimating. So we have some procedure for estimating the voltage sag performance. That is the procedure from the industrial customer to assure the compatibility between supply system and the facility operation. Supply system and facility operation. This is the following procedure. Is industrial customer to so between the supply supply system characteristics and facility operation. So facility operation. That means estimating the voltage sag performance. That sag performance can be sag that can due to occur the faults. The faults on which system? That is a transmission system. That is a distribution system. The transmission system and distribution system and equipment sensitive to voltage sag. Equipment sensitive to voltage sag. And finally evaluate the economics of different solutions. So economics of the different solution. That means the solution we can for last starting class we discuss about the so what are the solutions, that is a end user or transmission system or a distribution system. So we can the power quality evaluation procedure. In evaluation procedure we can see that one. So solution, where is the solution? So first thing, so determine the number and the characteristics of the voltage sag that from the transmission system faults. That from the transmission system faults. So because in last class, in yesterday class we discuss about what are the sources of sag and interruption. That means in the fault on the same feeder, is a fault on the parallel feeder, is a fault on the transmission system. So today we have discussed evaluation of the sag. So that means we can determine the number and characteristics of the voltage sag that from the result from the which system, that from the transmission faults. So determine the number and the characteristics, that is what are the types of characteristics. So characteristics of voltage sags that results from which system? The transmission system faults. So transmission system faults. Similar like that you can also determine the characteristics voltage sags from the distribution system also. Number and the characteristics of the voltage sag that results from which system? Distribution system. Distribution system faults. Distribution system faults. So next So determine the equipment that's sensitive to voltage sags. So determine the equipment to equipment sensitive to voltage sags. This will be determined from the actual performance of the production process. Actual production from the production process that calculated from the following step 1 and step 2. So this will determine the actual performance of the production process. The production process. So final thing is evaluate the economics of different solutions. Evaluate the economics of the different solution that could improve the performance either from the supply systems or within the customer facility. Within the customer facility. Evaluate the economics of different solution. That solutions from the either a supply system or in the customer. So different solutions that could improve the performance either on the supply system or within the customer. In the customer. So these are the theory subject. So that's why I have some no derivations during this subject. So estimating the sag performance means we have four steps for determine the for sources of the sag. What means system faults. That source for means in yesterday class we discuss about the sources of sags and interruption. For interruption, the faults on the same feeder. For the sag, the faults on the transmission, the faults on the distribution system. So that means determine the number and characteristics that results from the transmission system as well as the distribution system, and also determine the sensitivity to voltage sag. And finally we can say that one. So economics of the solution. So next, so I forgot in the first unit the simple terms and transients. The term transient has been used in the analysis of the power system variations that denote to event that is undesirable and momentary in nature. So the concept of this one is can be due to the RLC network. The concept of the transients can due to the which one, that RLC network. So we have different definitions for transients are there. So we have to determine the common definition. So common definition. That common definition is the part of the change in variable. So that disappears. That which one disappears during from transition from one steady state operating condition to another. So the transients. The term transients can be used in the analysis of the power system variations. So to denote an an event that is in undesirable or momentary in nature. Desirable or momentary in nature. So the reason for transience is due to RLC network. The transience is due to RLC network. RLC network. So we have some different definitions for there. The transient is that is the part of change, that is a part of change in a variable that disappears during transition from one steady state condition to another change. So the transient is the part of change in variable, the part of change in variable that disappears during transition from one steady state condition to one steady state condition to another. That is nothing but a simple thing we can raise that one. It's a part of the term that is disappear during one steady state operating condition to another. The transient is like a surge. The common term is used for the transient is a surge. Transient is a surge. So generally utility system, the transient results from which have surge arrestor is used for the protection. Surge arrestor is used for the protection. So that means that is lighting arrestor. That is lighting arrestor. We can place it in the substation before of the supply, that is in the before of the transformer. So we have placed one surge arrestor. In surge arrestor we have a non-linear resistors. So during normal operation it has high resistance. During normal operation it has high resistance. So during under the surge conditions the resistance value is very low as compared to other system. So that's why it is a non-linear resistors, the property. So it can be used to protect the surges from using surge arrestor or otherwise lighting arrestor. That one is a lighting arrestor. So the transients broadly classified into two categories. The transients broadly classified into two categories. Two categories. So that is, one is impulsive transient. Another one is oscillatory transient. Oscillatory transient. So the impulsive transient is a sudden. The impulsive transient is a sudden, is a non-power frequency change in the steady state condition of unidirectional polarity. The steady state condition of unidirectional polarity. So that is either of voltage or current or both on the power line. So both on the power line. So what I am saying, impulsive transients that are sudden, which frequency? Non-power frequency change in steady state condition of unidirectional polarity of voltage from a current or both on the line, both on the lines. So impulsive transient Impulsive transient is a sudden non-power frequency change in the steady state conditions of unidirectional polarity. Unidirectional polarity of voltage, current are both on the power line. Both on the power line. So that impulsive transients are normally characterized by their rise and decay times. By their rise and decay times. It's normally characterized by their rise and decay times. So that is rise and decay times. For example, I am taking a 0 to peak value, that is up to 2000 volts. Normally rises from 0 to peak value of 2000 volts in which time? 1.2 microseconds. So 1.2 microseconds, and then decay to half of its peak value. Decay to half of its peak value in 50 microseconds. 50 microseconds. So this can be characterized by the rise time and decay times. So the rise time, for example, I am taking a peak value to 0 to peak value, that is 2000 volts within 1.2 microseconds. Then decay that value to half of the peak value in 50 microseconds. So it is caused for the most common impulsive transients are due to lighting strokes. Due to lighting strokes, the common cause for the impulsive transient is due to lighting strokes. So we can see that one lighting stroke, for example, the transients is the current time in microseconds, that is 0, 20, 40, 60, 80, so 100, 120, so 140. The current value is -5. So like that we can take an example. The graphical representation is like that. Is a rise and decay. The lighting stroke caused by current impulsive transient. So thank you for watching. So tomorrow class we can see that one oscillatory transients. So thank you.